Welcome back to Lapland, where we're having all of the fun through December. And Paddy has just told us that he's trying a different mince pie every day in December. So far, who's in the lead, bud?
I feel I have a moral obligation to you guys and also our listeners and viewers to talk you through. And I would say at the moment, Aldi.
Oh, okay. But you need to try Lidl.
But what I would say is mince pies, it's got to come down to your mood, the time of day, and what you have with it.
And also, is it fresh out the packet or have they been in the cupboard for a day or two?
I think you have to judge them all on the same level.
Yeah,
So
okay.
straight out of the packet.
Yeah, fair.
And I'm not heating.
Okay.
No, I'm not a heater.
Yeah.
I had a friend, though, who a few years ago, he genuinely did this like every day on a proper spreadsheet, and he is in finance, and he had all
Obviously.
these different ratings of what they were. And at the end of that year, 3-4 years ago, Waitrose came out the top. But I think he commented on their mouthfeel was particularly good. Interims.
Yes.
They
Love
are,
them.
they are still working.
Yep.
It's December. People go on holiday in December. Should you keep your temp working, or should you keep paying your temp through the Christmas period if they're not working?
I think if we talk about our book of business, I think nearly all of them have been extended through to the new year, which is great because is there a moral obligation to keep someone ticking over, sorry? Because reality is you end and beginning of December, they're looking for work again in Jan. I would say, yes, keep them on board if you need the work.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's morally, it's a really nice thing to do, right? But in reality, is anyone actually paying a temp who's not working? I mean, what's your experience, Paddy?
I go back to Alex's point. There are cycles in the interim market where you don't want to be available. And over Christmas and into the first couple of weeks of January is one of those, and also over the summer. So when you are lining up your next interim assignment, let's say you get something in October or September, I think it's important to try and find a role that takes you through into the new year. I think a lot of the interims that we're placing are really busy. So there's stuff that needs to be done. So actually they're working, as a recruitment business, and we're obviously looking at our revenue, we like our interims that roll into the next year because we have that reoccurring revenue. But also what you don't get is your temps fall off a cliff at the end of the year and then you're restarting in January. But I also think the hours that they tend to be working, they're there to do a job and they need to deliver. So of course everyone's having time off, but I just talking to our interims at the moment, they seem to be almost working quite up until late December.
And something else just quickly before we finish that people need to now be aware of with the NI changes coming in April, more and more interims are saying to me, I'm actually a bit worried because it could be the headcount changes happen at that time.
It's a great idea.
So if you can get a job get a contract that either ends February and you've got time or that ends post-April, that'd be big advice at the moment.
One thing I'd quickly add on to this is communication with your recruiter and your interims is essential. So if I know that I'm due to be finishing in the first week of December, as an interim, I'm probably looking for an next assignment 4 weeks, 3 weeks before to try and line that up. What then happens is if the interim lines up a new job and they're leaving and the client and the recruiter say, well, actually, we wanted to extend you, but you've lost them because you didn't communicate. So any hiring managers out there now who have interims and you haven't maybe rebooked them into the new year, have that conversation and get them locked in now before they get snapped up.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good
Good
advice.
points. Yeah.
And we'll see you tomorrow for another Christmassy episode. Thank you so much.